Hey guys, it's Pure with Warm Water Addicts. I am going to cover my mouth because I'm doing another grass carp fly, except I'm going to do a wrap with marabou. So I got a bunch of cut up marabou right below me, um, and I don't want to spray it everywhere. So I'm going to flip the camera and show you what I'm doing. So there we got the cut up marabou. Basically all we're doing, I don't know if you can see that. We got a loop right here. We're going to stick the marabou in the loop, and then we're going to use that spinner. We're going to spin it. So, be back in a second with that. And we're back. So, as you can see, the marabou is in there. I'm going to spread it out just a little bit. Then we're going to launch it. Ready? We're going to spin it. 3, 2, 1. And it goes pretty fast there. So, most of it stayed in. Now, some of it got stuck out, so you can unspin it a little bit, create a loop, stick some more in, spin it again. Basically, all we're going to do from here is wrap it. And I got this in a half hitch it, so when you spin your rotary vise, it doesn't mess with it. Just keeps it on one level. Try not to cut your wrap with the barb of the hook or the point of the hook. So these are just going to look like clumps of moss going through the creek or whatever waterway. And I've found if you keep pushing your clump back, it helps keep everything in order and whatnot. And spin as necessary if things start to come loose. So, if things are starting to fall or what have you. Alrighty. So I'll explain why we're wrapping it, not just tying in marabou. I'm a huge believer in simple flies. That kind of came out a little gnarly. That's okay. That's the point. I'm a huge believer in simple flies and flies that look like absolutely nothing but could be anything. So to them, this could just be a piece of moss or a leaf or another just piece of junk going through the waterway. And as you can see, I have a lot of room left. I got about a half a shank. I'll do that. That's a little easier. Got about a half a shank left, so I'm gonna make another loop. You can see this one all the way up, all the way from start to finish. So you're gonna make your loop. I just hold where the middle should be, and then tie it in. So that's about an inch to 3 3/4 of an inch. I put in my spinny tool. I call this spinny tool. I think it's a dubbing whirl or something like that. I think that's what they call them. And I stuff in my marabou. Now you don't have to make the ends even in this one and I spin it. Because once again, we want this thing to look like anything in the water. And then I will just, and that will occasionally happen. When that happens, you just kind of got to wrap it by hand and hope for the best. Because sometimes it just doesn't want to work for you. And other times it'll come undone like it just did. Alright. So, that's pretty much what that looks like. Looks like absolutely nothing, just a clump of moss or something going through the water. And I'm gonna put yet another one in because I think it would look a little better if it's all the way full. What I'm doing is I'm just cutting the marabou right off the stem. So taking a clump, just clip, and then I have about those were the ends, so I'll have about just, yeah, perfect amount to make one more wrap. Tie that in. And the great thing about these is these are just, they're so easy to tie. The material is cheap, so if you are grass carp fishing in places like I am where it's really hard casting, there's a lot of snags. If you lose one, so what, you know. This is the recipe for this is a 3366. There's some kind of strong nymph hook, olive thread, and marabou. If you use 3366, this is a super easy and effective fly to do. Well, it's easy regardless. This is what happens when I try to multitask. I can't think. There we go. Okay. That fluffed out in the end. Darn it. There we go. Alrighty. That just looks like a clump of something going through the water. Perfect imitation. You can do this with peacock herl. You can do it with legs. I'm going to put out another video, depending on how it turns out. You're going to whip finish here at the end. Depending on how it looks when I do the practice tie. That is going to be just going to be a lot of cool stuff in there. But all right, that's what that looks like. Looks like absolutely nothing, but it's one of the most effective grass carp flies that I have fished with. I've caught a lot of grass carp. I haven't really counted, but if I counted, I don't know, 15 or so in the last 2 months, 3 months. Well, I should say over the summer. I shouldn't say over the last couple of months because I haven't fished in the last couple of months. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I'll show you that new fly when I get it.